Welcome to Brand Builders TV. Deep dive topics, tools and resources brought to you by global thought leaders from within the Brand Builders Club. This show gives you access to the strategies that you can use to move forward with ease and flow in every area of your life and business. In today's show, Loubna is going to help you to take your next steps towards resilient growth and success. During part 1, she focused on the first foundational skill for success, optimism. And in part 2, Loubna addressed the fact that life is not always about staying positive all the time. How well you respond to that depends on your resilience level. So she shared 5 ways to give a boost to your resilience. Today's session is all about your strengths. Most people tend to focus on their weaknesses, but there is another way to gain success easier and faster, and that is to play to your strengths. So in this session, you'll discover the secret behind the strengths advantage. Learn it, model it, and get shit done. Let's go.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. It's time for part 3 of the 4-part series of how to set yourself up for success. I hope you're doing amazingly well. And again, if you've been with me in the part 1 and part 2, grab a cup of coffee, grab a cup of tea, get a pen and paper ready to make a lot of notes and engage, participate. So answer the questions, share your insights, light bulb moments, whatever it is you want to share. So, if you have with me, part 1 was around optimism. It's one of those traits that if you keep on building it up and training it, you will have a much better positive outlook on the world, and you will explain the things that happen to you in a more positive way and a better way for your well-being. And last week, I spoke about resilience. I mean, life can't be all roses and positivity. I mean, we're all human beings. We experience the wide range of emotions, from good events to bad events, from positive emotions to negative emotions. And hello, Philippa and Sammy. Great to have you join me on part 3 already. You know what? One of those things that when you're having fun, time seems to go really fast. I love delivering and talking about the things that have had a profound impact on my life and on the lives of my clients. So welcome to Brand Builders TV. My name is Loubna, also known as the Action Accelerator. And one of my passions, because for those of you that know me, I'm a multi-passionate person, so there is a lot of things that I could be talking about. But one of those is to mentor entrepreneurs to gain focus, clarity and momentum with lightning speed. Because let's be honest, as entrepreneurs, we do not want to stay in brain fog, confusion and be all over the place, because we won't be creating the impact that we want in the world. So I'm going to share with you, I have been sharing some foundational elements, and I'm going to share with you today the topic that I am really excited about, because every time that I talk about this topic, aha moments, light bulbs go off, and people start to connect with something that's already inside of them. It's a set of resources that you already have access to, but you might not realize that you do. And the topic of part 3 is your strengths. Because think about it. Think back to when you were a child, little, and you came home with your report card. And there were all good grades on there, and there was one grade you were not happy about. How much time, energy, and attention, and probably conversations with your parents or the ones that raised you, went to what? Did you celebrate all of those amazing grades, or did you focus on that one grade that was not so amazing? Maybe even a 5 or lower, whatever it is. We have a tendency that despite all of the great things that we are good at, that happen to us, we focus on the one thing that didn't. To give you another example from reality today. When you look back on yesterday, now yesterday was Wednesday, would you report that as a good day or a not so good day? A bad day? Was that a good day for you or not? Now, if something happened in 10 minutes or 1 hour of the whole day that was a negative event, that had a negative impact on you, you will report that day as a bad day. If it was all good, you will report that as a good day. It's one of those things that, because, and I've shared this before, we have a negativity bias. We give a lot more attention on the bad things, even though it might be a 10-minute thing that happened. It will throw you off because our brain remembers that even more and can recall that better than anything that was positive that happened yesterday. So it's important so that we train our brains, which we can, fortunately. Neuroscience has taught us that we can change our brain to also focus on the positive. Now, one caveat. I am not advocating to be positive all of the time or happy all of the time, because that's not human being. We need that range and we need more balance. So what I'm hoping and wishing for you to teach you all of these foundational elements is that we balance it out. Instead of having so much attention into the negative, we also have a balance in positive and negative, because that will be more of support with what. So let's get to the topic, strengths. It might come as a surprise to you, but each and every one of us has strengths. Now you might be thinking, what is she talking about? Well, it is true. Because of those things that happened in our childhood, we focus so much on things that we're not good at. It might be that if you've had a corporate career, the conversations, at least the ones that I've been having with my managers, were all about the one thing that was not so good in my performance review. That will be good, or really good, and then you need to think about that. And my manager would focus on the whole conversation on how are you going to do that? How are you going to up-level that weakness? Now, if you think back to those moments, up-leveling your weaknesses takes much more effort and hard work than focusing on the things that are already good. I mean, let's be honest. It takes a lot of hard work. And for those of you that know me, I'm all about working smarter, more effortlessly than the hustling and the grinding and trying to get to a certain level. And it's even been proven in scientific research that if you focus, which you can put in effort to up-level your weaknesses. You will get to good enough level. But if you focus on your strengths, and I will tell you what the strengths exactly is defined as, you will go to excellence. You will go to peak performance. Now, I don't know about you, but if I can spend my days having multiple peak performance moments, I will get more done, feeling more fulfilled, and having felt not working hard at the end of the day. And the next morning, I'll wake up more energized, looking forward to doing that again and again and again. Now, if that seems appealing to you, let me know in the comments so I can share more about what I love to do. So, strengths consist of two components. The first one is what you are good at. Very important. What you're good at, what you naturally already do. You can't even try to stop yourself from doing it. The component number two is what you enjoy doing. It's very important because I'm reminded of one of my clients many years ago who came to me and said, I'm really good at organising events. So what happens every time the management decides that they want to organise an event, they come to me because they know I'm good at it and they trust me to do it. But I don't enjoy it. How do I change this? And we had a conversation and I trained her in how she can have the conversation with management so that they would ask her less to organise events because she doesn't enjoy it. She's good at it, but she doesn't enjoy it. So it's really important that a strength is the intersection between what you're good at and what you enjoy doing. Now, there are a lot of things that I'm good at, but I do not enjoy doing. There are also things that I absolutely am not good at and don't enjoy doing. So I want to outsource those things as much as possible. Now, for me, it's admin. I'm not good at it. I do not enjoy it in any way, shape or form. And you can ask my accountant. They have to remind me multiple times to get the information to them so that they can do it. That's how less I do not enjoy doing this. So it is what you're good at and what you enjoy doing. Now, you might be thinking right now, I don't know what I'm good at. And I don't know what I enjoy doing. I can think of one or two things, but you're not exactly clear. Now, that's one of the reasons why a lot of people are unaware of their strengths. One, we don't have the language to talk about strengths. So if you don't know how to talk and what strengths exactly are, it's very difficult to recognize them in you. Number two is we've been conditioned to focus on our weaknesses and to build our weaknesses more than focusing on the things that you're already good at and enjoy doing. And number three reason why you might be unaware of your strengths is because great problem solving and I'm good at it. Oh, I love that, Philippa. I love it. That's a great one. That's so cool, Philippa. And now I just lost my train of thought. So we'll go back. Okay, so strengths are what you're good at and what you enjoy doing. Now, be very right. It's not all about what you do that is a strength. Strengths refer to patterns of your thoughts, feelings, and actions. So one of the reasons that we are not used to is because we focus on what we exactly do, but it is the combination of your thoughts, feelings, and actions that make up a strength for you. So, and the opportunity of exercising your strengths on a day-to-day basis feels exciting, engaging, and energizing to you. So instead of putting a lot of effort in things that you're not good at, which deplete your energy, does not excite you, which will impact your performance and productivity. And so it's one of the reasons why I'm really passionate and excited about this subject is if you focus on your strengths, you know them, you can talk about it, you can explain them to other people, and you can see the strengths in others, your life is gonna change for the better. So who's excited? Let me know, because I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. As you can see, I'm really excited about this. And one of the reasons I am, because I've started learning about strengths many, many years ago. And it has helped me tremendously. Because I got to a point in my corporate career, for example, where I started using and utilizing more of my strengths. I got to a point where my colleagues and my managers, my clients started to say, you only do what you enjoy doing. And I was like, of course, who wouldn't want to spend their days doing only what they enjoy doing most of the time? Because I'm going to be very honest, there was about 20% of what I did in my corporate job that I did not enjoy. But I could do that because I knew that 80% of my workday consists of things that I absolutely love to do and I'm really good at it. And a lot of people started to ask me, you only do that? And I didn't realize that it was abnormal for them. I had gotten to a point where it's absolutely normal for me, but abnormal for them. And it took me a while to discover this. But when I started sharing the tools and strategies and insights that I have gotten from focusing not only on up-leveling my weaknesses, but also my strengths. So in conversations with my managers, if my manager would ask me, I want you to do, let me think of something. I want you to create a spreadsheet I want you to review a spreadsheet that is filled with more than 200 rows of information. I would literally say, you can ask me to do this, but I'm not good at it. I do not enjoy doing it. So it will take me probably 3 to 4 times longer to complete this task. Now, if you still want me to do it, I'm happy to do it, but just bear in mind, if you've got a deadline, I'm not the right person to ask. Now, in my experience, a smart manager will think, okay, I better not ask her because she's going to take 3 to 4 times longer to complete this task, and I need it yesterday. It's one of those things that when you have the language of your strengths, you can be very honest and open about your strengths. It's easier to explain why someone should ask you to do something or not. And for those of you that are listening and watching this right now, think about a task you have on your to-do list right now. Maybe it's a task that you've been avoiding because it's challenging. You know that you're not going to enjoy it. Think about it right now. Why are you procrastinating on that task? Why exactly are you avoiding it, but you still have put it on your to-do list? Now, it might be that you've decided that this is important to move the needle in your business. But it's not in alignment with your strengths. So that could be the case. Now, if that is true, so that's one. Number 2, it could be because you haven't connected any of your strengths to the task, because that's a little secret. The things that when I did have to do something that I'm good at but do not enjoy doing, because I've had those moments, I'm going to be very honest and frank with you, I started to ask myself the question, which one of my strengths can I use to do this task to make it more enjoyable? So it's literally one of the things that I spoke about in part 1 is how you look at something that you need to do or an event and how you explain it to yourself that actually will trigger and activate a positive emotion and feeling in your body. And that's where you want to be, because you do not want to take a lot of time doing something you do not enjoy, because it will impact the rest of your day and your performance. And you don't want to be tired after forcing yourself doing something you do not enjoy doing and might not be good at, because it will deplete you from the energy and source that you need for the things that you do enjoy doing and you're good at. So that's important to remember. And so that's one. Another part that I would love to, and I'm just looking at the time right now, so because I can get so excited that I completely forget time. So I end up in flow state and can keep going for hours and hours and hours, which on a normal day, that would be fine. But today, unfortunately, I have to go, I have to do another session later on. So strengths, they're really important. If you're watching this right now and you're thinking, but I don't know my strengths, I'm not aware of them, I don't know what my strengths might be, the very first step is to discover your strengths. What are they? And there are a couple of ways you can do that. One of the ways that you can do that is to write a strengths story. So you think about a moment that you really fondly look back on, that constituted a positive experience, something that you really enjoyed doing, that you look back on and you had fun and you're proud of yourself, of the achievement that you made, and write it out and then reflect on that story and think, what strength did I exercise in this moment? Now, it might be one strength specifically, it might be a combination of strengths. Another way that you can discover your strengths, which I actually love, is is asking people that you trust. Now, the reason why this is so powerful is because a lot of our strengths seem very natural to us. You're thinking, oh, that's logical. Everyone does it that way. Well, that's not true. Each and every one of us has strengths, but not everyone has the same strengths or the same combination of strengths or the same ranking in their strengths. And so you might not be aware of some of the strengths that you have. So ask people that you trust, that know you, what's something that you admire in me? And that's a good question to ask. Another question to ask is, what do you believe I am good at? A third way you can discover some of your strengths is to do a test. There are several online tests that you can do to discover your top 5 strengths or your top 24 strengths. One of them that I really enjoy and I use frequently is the VIA. And after this live, what I will do is drop a link to the VIA in the description with this show. And I would like to invite you to go and do the VIA and share your top 5 signature strengths. And your signature strengths, according to the VIA, so if we take on the lens of the VIA, there are about 24 strengths categorized in 6 virtues that each and every one of us has. And each and every one of us has these strengths in more or less. So you have a level of these strengths. It's not like you only have 5 of these. And what VIA does, what the VIA test will do, is show you what your top 5 strengths are. And we call those your signature strengths. It's the ones that have been developed the most. There are the most effortless that you can do when you're exercising those. So I would love to know your top 5 signature strengths. Would be great to create a signatures matrix of entrepreneurs from all over the world. And why I love the VIA is because it's irrespective of culture, background, or even country. So it is universally applied, and it's a language we can adopt so we can talk about our strengths but also see them in other people. Again, I will be adding the link to the VIA test for you in the description with this episode. And I would love to see your top 5. So those are some of the ways that you can discover what your strengths are. What's important is that it's not only enough to discover them, because knowing your strengths is not enough to actually have the benefits that come with using your strengths. So it is cultivating your strengths. And it's important that it's one of the last points that I make, because it's really important to know, is our brain is prone to adapt. So that's one of the things that we know from the science of happiness. Every time you say, I'll be happy when, you get that item or that achievement, you get used to it, and you just improve the goal. So you just set a higher ambition and a higher goal. And the same thing applies to using your strengths. The more you do it, the more effortless it will be, but the less beneficial it will be for you, because you just get used to it. So to get the most out of using your strengths, you want to brainstorm different ways of using your strengths. Now that requires a little bit of effort, because when you discover your top 5, you want to think about ways, how can you use your strengths in a different way? Because right now, as you're watching and listening, you have a certain way of thinking, feeling, and behaving. That's how that strength shows up for you. But you want to think about different ways, and that will feel uncomfortable in the beginning, but it will help you have the benefits of energizing, excitement, positivity when exercising these strengths. Now, if you wanna get my feedback on different ways, or you want to brainstorm with me, I'm more than happy to do that with you. I love love talking about the subject of strengths. I believe that one of the things that we as entrepreneurs, especially purpose-driven entrepreneurs who have big missions, big visions to positively impact the world, is the more that we connect to our strengths, the more that we utilize them, and the more ways we do that will benefit us all, not only us as individuals, but also our communities and the rest of the world. And my last point, because it's almost time, these sessions go really fast, is that it is very powerful when you start learning the language of strengths, is to spot strengths in others. Because as I mentioned earlier, a lot of us are unaware of our strengths. Now, it's very, very, how do I say this? There's something very magical when you tell someone the strength that you see in them. I've done many strength spotting in groups before COVID hit, and done workshops where I ask people to look at someone else and have a conversation and then spot the strengths. And the changes in their faces were that just light up, because they were like, oh, that's one of those aha moments that I mentioned at the beginning of this session. They light up and they connect with that strength or strengths and start using it more and more, but using it intentionally and seeing the amazing results. So if you want to have the benefits of strengths and strength spotting, you will want to discover your strengths. You want to cultivate your strengths more and cultivate them in different ways so that you can have the most benefits from using those. Now, it's important to me, I'm not advocating that you only focus on your strengths. As entrepreneurs, you know that there are things that you need to learn that you might not be good at right now. And you have to. That's some part of being an entrepreneur. You have many hats and many things that you need to master before you might outsource them, or there are things that you need to know and to be able to do because you are the business owner and CEO or CEO of your business. So, but it helps to look at them through the lens of your strengths, and you can manage your energy during the day so that you do not only do things that you up-level your weaknesses, so you deplete your energy, but you also focus on the things that you're really good at and enjoy doing. Now, one of the things as we wrap this session up is knowing your strengths and being able to exercise them and cultivate them more will support you in achieving your goals. Because as each and every one of us has goals, whether that is a goal for the next 7 days or a goal for the next 3 months or maybe even 12 months. Each and every one of us has goals, and the more you know your strengths and be able to tap into those to achieve your goals, the faster and easier and the more enjoyable you will be able to achieve them. And with that, having said that, it's the topic of part 4 of this 4-part series. In the last part of this series, I will be covering how to set goals and boost your hope level, because that's the 4th foundational element in this 4-part series. So as we wrap up here on Brand Builders TV, I hope you've enjoyed this session, and I really hope that you start discovering and utilizing your strengths more and more. Now, so for those of you who want to practice it, one of the things that I'm going to invite you to do is to do the VIA test. I'll be adding the link to the VIA test in the description of this session after the session. Share your top 5, but also brainstorm about ways that you're going to utilize your strengths in the next 7 days more, and share them with us. And I'll be hoping to see you next Thursday, 12 p.m. UK time. And looking forward to hearing all of your experience in using your strengths more and more, and sharing with you how you can increase your hope so that you achieve everything that you want to achieve in this life and business. Have an amazing day, have fun, and see you next week.
I hope that you've enjoyed the show today as much as we've enjoyed making it for you. If you've got anything out of this episode, please do tell someone else how they can subscribe to the Brand Builders TV channel at youtube.com/brandbuilderstv. Why not join us at our next Brand Builders Thinkubator, a global mastermind that we run every week to take away the loneliness of being in business on your own. For more information and to book your place, visit light.brandbuilders.club/Thinkubator. That's light.brandbuilders.club/Thinkubator. Until next time, be the ripple that you wish to see in the world, and we'll see you soon.